It's a lot of stuff here.
As you wish.
Um, so do all of the crates
On it.
count as stealing? Nope. Ooh, devilish armor. Hardened. Obviously. Colored inks.
This should be easy enough.
Blood writing. Velocelin blood writing. When the children of our people come of age, they earn the privilege of wearing the Vaseline, the blood writing. It is set us apart from the Shemlin and from the elves who have thrown their lighting with them. It reminds us that we will never again surrender our traditions and beliefs. The ritual deserves great reverence. The one who is to gain the Vaseline must prepare by meditating on the gods and the ways of our people, and by purifying the body and the skin. When the time comes, the keeper of the clan applies the blood writing. This is done in complete silence. Cries of pain are signs of weaknesses. If one cannot tolerate the pain of the blood writing, they are not ready to undertake the responsibilities of an adult. The keeper may stop the ritual if they believe that the one gaining the Valacelin is not ready. There is no shame in this, for all children are different, and our ancestors once took centuries to come of age, as told by Jerusel, keeper of the Ralafarian clan of the Delish Elves. That's cool. That's really cool, actually. I have a lot of stuff going on in this little place. Remarkable at the time. Cayman.
Hello?
Hi. Oh, there's no need. Hello yourself. Who are you?
I'm Kamen.
Kamen.
Hunter apprentice. Though I wish I could become a real hunter.
And why can't you?
I shouldn't be talking about this to an outsider. You wouldn't understand.
Try me, I might surprise you.
I suppose there's no harm in it. It's not like you can help me. I've been an apprentice for too long. To become a true hunter, I must bring back the pelt of a beast I killed myself. A boar or a wolf or something. I wanted to hunt in the forest, but we're forbidden to enter because of the attack. But the real problem is Gaina.
Gaina? Who's Gaina?
She's my heart's desire. I have asked for her hand, but she cruelly refuses it. She will not bond with an apprentice, she says, and calls me a child. I am no child. If I was a hunter, I could prove it, but I cannot hunt, and Gaina will never bond with me. I feel so helpless. I shouldn't have brought it up. Just leave me to my misery.
There must be some way to solve your problem, my guy.
You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do.
Have you tried wooing Gaina?
Wooing? I don't understand.
It's funny. A romancer. Sure you love her?
I've serenaded her, and we've talked many times under the moon. But that doesn't matter if I'm still an apprentice. Not to her.
Okay. I suppose it'd be too much to ask if you've better.
No! We've never done anything like that. Never.
Let's forget I mentioned it.
Yes, that's probably for the best. Oh, what do you want now? I told you everything already.
Can I ask you some questions?
I don't think there's anything I can tell you. My clanmates in the camp would be better at that. Oh, what do you want now? I told you everything already.
There must be some way.
You think I haven't thought about this? There's nothing I can do.
I'm not giving you a pelt. And I'm not telling you to go into the forest. Perhaps I could talk to Gaina.
I suppose you could, but what good would that do? The situation hasn't changed.
Alright, have it your way. Wait, I can be pretty persuasive.
Really? I'm willing to try anything.
It can't hurt.
Cyranas, oh ma Cyranas, I will pray to the goddess of love that you are successful.
That needs to go away. Hunter, elf child, elf child.
You're a dwarf, aren't you? If you get no sun, shouldn't you be all white? I wish I could see Orzammar someday. Does it really have a great lake of lava?
Let's get started.
That's cool. Ooh. Benaro? Is this statue dedicated to the elven wolf god son of a gun? Benaro the Dread Wolf. Ooh. There is precious little we know about Benaro, for they say he did not care for our people. Elgrinal and Mytho created the world as we know it. Andro taught us the ways of the hunter. Sir Lays and June gave us fire and crafting, but Benaro kept to himself and plotted the betrayal of all the gods. And after the destruction of Arlathan, when the gods could no longer hear our prayers, it is said that Benaro spent centuries in the far corner of the earth, giggling madly and hugging himself in glee. The legends say that before the fall of Arlathan, the gods we know and revere, fought an endless war with others of their kind. There is not a Haran among us who remember these others. Only in dreams do we hear whispered the names of Godarin and Darenthal and Anaris, for they are the forgotten ones, the gods of terror and malice, spite and pestilence. In ancient times, only Fenara could walk without fear among both our gods and the forgotten ones. For although he is kin to the gods of the people, the forgotten ones knew of his cunning ways and saw him as one of their own. And that is how Fenaro tricked them. Our gods saw him as brother, and they trusted him when he said that they must keep to the heavens while he arranged the truth. And the forgotten ones trusted him also when he said he would arrange for the defeat of our gods. If only the forgotten ones would return to the abyss for a time. They trusted Fenaro, and they were all of them betrayed. And Fenaro sealed them away so they could never again walk among our people. From the tale of Fenaro's triumph, as told by Jazaro, keeper of Rafflin clan of the Delish Elves. Alright. Look at all of this. What a big freaking place. You, Graina.
Andaran Atishan, outsider.
Carmen mentioned you. You are Gaina, correct?
You spoke to him? What did he say?
Oh wow. He said that you refused to give him your hand.
Oh. I don't expect an outsider to understand our ways, but I just can't bond with Kamen. He's been a hunter apprentice for over 2 years now, and he's yet to slay a proper beast. Each time he's tried, something has gone wrong. Perhaps the creators do not wish us to bond. I cannot bond with an apprentice hunter, can I?
If you love him, it doesn't matter what he is, does it?
But what if he never becomes a proper hunter? What will become of our family?
Why does everything depend on him?
You are right. As a woman, I must ensure that he believes in himself. All I've done is make him miserable. I know I cannot be like you, both woman and Grey Warden, but I can be formidable in my own small way, can't I?
Yes.
Nasiranas, thank you.
Mas
You have helped me
Serenas.
put this into perspective.
Serenas.
I will go and speak to Kamen.
Let's go.
Kamen, I have been a fool.
Gaina? What do you mean? Have you changed your mind?
I have. The outsider has helped me to see that I was wrong. I have made you miserable, and I should not have.
But what about my hunt?
I don't care about that. I know you will pass your hunt in time, and we will be happy. Us and our children.
No.
Thank you, Gaina. You've made me a happy man. I feel blessed by the gods today. We are both very grateful for the part you've played in bringing us together.
How marvelous you are. I am so happy.
Does anyone else feel the urge to vomit? No? 'Tis just me?
Here, take this. It's been in my family for a very long time, but I hope it plays some part in your battle against the Darkspawn. It's the very least we could do.
What is it? What is it? I should just stop bringing her. The Tale of Elorin. In the days after the rising of Zazikel, the Dark Ones coveted every corner of the land. The archdemon drove all the nations of the world before him, Shumlin and Elven alike. In the far north, where the hills wander the plains and the earth is eternally baked beneath the uncaring sun, the lands with the Shumlin called Anderfels, the clan of our people, lived, struggling to survive the blight. Aloran was their keeper, a hunter in his younger days, crafty as any wolf. He led his people always just ahead of the Darkspawn and chased them. But the old hunter knew that even Hela cannot run forever. They must turn the fight or be run down. At the foot of the Meridian, the Darkspawn cornered Ilorin's clan. That night, the moon was strangled by clouds, and earth concealed by a dread mist that rose out of nowhere, so that the Elven could not tell up from down. In the confusion, the Darkspawn attacked. But Aloran had prepared for them. All around the camp, the hunters had strong, dry grass, brush, and brambles. When the sound of rustling footfalls began, Aloran and the other Hiren caught upon the old magic. They struck out with lightning and thought the bolts missed the Darkspawn. And though the bolts missed the Darkspawn, they hit their target all the same. The sea of kindling lit, and not one of the dark creatures made it through the fire to reach Aloran's clan. From the Tale of Aloran, written by Zothrian, as if he had passed down from keeper to keeper for generations. Is that what you gave us? Oh no, a tale. Margan. Neutral still. This. Ooh. Oh, we already have that. That's fine. Look at
There are
this.
places where those horns bring huge prices. Can cure diseases, so they say.
Mother of Hala. This crap. Jelanain, mother of the Hala. They said Jelanain was one of the people in the days before Arthur and the chosen of Adro the huntress. She was very beautiful, with hair of snowy white and as graceful as a gazelle. She kept always to Adro's ways, and Adro favored her above all others. One day, while hunting in the forest, Jelanain came across a hunter she did not know. At his feet lay a hawk, shot through the heart by an arrow. I'm gonna keep going back and forth. Gulanain was filled with rage for the hawk along with the hart. It is an animal most loved of Adrol. Gulanain demanded that the hunter make an offering to Adrol in exchange for taking the life of one of her creatures. The hunter refused, and Gulanain called upon the goddess to curse him so that he could never again hunt and kill a living creature. Gillenay's curse took hold, and the hunter found that he was unable to hunt. His prey would dart out of sight, and his arrows would fly astray. His friends and family began to mock him for his incompetence. For what use is a hunter who cannot hunt? Ashamed, the hunter swore he would find Gillenay and repay for her what she had done to him. He found Gillenay while she was out on the hunt with her sisters and lured her away from them with lies and false words. He told Gillenay that he had learned his lesson and begged her to come with him so that she could teach him to make a proper offering to a draw. Moved by his plea, Gillenay followed the hunter, and when they were away from all of her sisters, the hunter turned on Gillenay. He blinded her first, and then bound her as one would bind a kill fresh from the hunt. But because he was cursed, the hunter could not kill her. Instead, he left her for dead in the forest. Oh, wow. And Gillenay prayed for the gods for help. She prayed to Algaron for vengeance, to Mother Mythel to protect her, and above all, she prayed to Aldro. Aldro sent her hairs to Gillenay, and they chewed through the ropes that bound her, but Gillenay was still wounded and blind, and could not find her way home. So Aldro turned her into a beautiful white deer, the first Hala, and Gillenay found her way back to her sisters and led them to the hunter, who was brought to justice. And since that day, Hala had guided the people, and had never led us astray, for they listened to the voice of Gillenay. For the tale of Gillenay is told by Gisaro, keeper of the Realtimewith clan of the Delish Elves. What a story. Hala. Alora.
Who comes? Oh, I beg your pardon, stranger. I was so busy attending to the Hala, I did not hear your approach.
What is a Hala? Let me read it, but what is a Hala?
The noble beasts that pull our Aravel. What humans call land ships. They are our companions and our guides.
You have nothing similar in Azamar except the Bronto.
I have heard of the Bronto. They are beasts of burden, yes? The Hala are not like that. We ride the Hala, but never with reins or a saddle. It is the Hala who decide where to lead us, and our privilege that they take our Aravel with them. In return, it's the herder's job to speak to the Hala and care for their needs. It's a bond of friendship, and not servitude.
So why have you separated this one from the others?
I fear she may have been bitten during the werewolf attack. I have tried speaking with her, but she is too agitated for me to understand.
Aww.
The curse would not affect her as it would us, but it would still be lethal. And it may prove contagious to the other Hala as well. I can find no wound on her, but if she's truly ill, then I will have to put her out of her misery. For her sake, as well as that of the others.
Is there anything I can do to help?
I don't know. Do you have any skills that might help her? If you do,
Nope.
I would be grateful.
We don't have survival. Examine the Hala.
And? What do you think?
I truly cannot tell.
I am glad you attempted it regardless. No.
Try to calm her.
No, I'm sorry. She isn't calming any more around you than she is for me.
I'm sorry, I tried my best.
I know. It was kind of you to try.
I'm not killing her.
I will watch her for a while longer and see if her condition changes. I am grateful for your assistance, friend.
Who has survival? No creature is more revered by the Delish than the Hala. No other animal has a god of its own. These white stags are much larger than ordinary deer, and the Delish Hala keepers carve their antlers as they grow, making them curve into intricate designs. In ancient times, these stags brought elven knights into combat, but since the fall of the Dales, they are used less as mounts and more to pull the Aravels. The Delish who band together in small groups of blood relatives travel in ornately carved wagons known as Aravel, drawn by large white stags called Hava. The Aravel are a unique sight, beautiful in their swooping curvature and adorned with broad hoods and bright silken clouds that flap in the wind, often displaying the noble banners that once flew over the family's house. Most humans refer to the Aravel as landships, for in a small wind it can often appear as if the elves travel in large boats with sails high overhead to announce their arrival forewarn others await. The Hollow are unique to the elves, and any but elven handlers consider them ardently and almost impossible to train. To the Dalish, they are noble beasts, superior in breeding to the horse. Certainly, most humans would agree that the Halls are as beautiful as the elves themselves. That the Hollow are as beautiful as the elves themselves. The fact that many Imperial nobles maintain a bounty on Hollow horns that find their way into Tarventer is an affront the Dalish consider unforgivable. Few among us can claim to have seen the Dalish landscapes up close. Any human who sees them on the horizon does well to head the other way. Few Dalish clans take kindly to humans intruding on their camps, and more than one tale tells of troublemaking humans who found themselves mercilessly filled with Dalish arrows. In Pursuit of Knowledge, The Travels of a Chantry Scholar by Brother Genetivi. I'm gonna go to the... What was the... Alright. Let's do this. And then he has to have better survival. Nope. Oh wow. That's not survival. Does anyone have survival? Alistair has one. Oh, we also have one, so never mind. I guess we have to level at some point and put something in survival. Save this just in case.
Come to check on my Hala and I again, have you? Of course.
That's fine. Honor the elf girl. Glove. And then what you have is way better. Just in case. Oh, a love letter and a love bow. Reginald, that's not it. My elf rule, the herbalist suggested I powder Bantu horn. I was very discreet, your sunflower. Regarding Bodice Ripped, my dearest Virginia True Royal, enclose our 7 silver most heartfelt apologies for said bodice. I don't think we read that.
This should be easy enough.
Oh, let's go. Oh yeah, that. We're using the crossbow though. Where's the U? Yeah, we can sell that. Enchanted. Zevran. Delish. That's fine.
On it.
Clan Shield. I want to sell.
What do you wish?
I like the barter.
I am no merchant, but let us trade. Perhaps there's something here which will be of value to you.
Sharp bow. Gloves. Armor. Save. First hand the long walk. Keeper of secrets. The long walk. When our people left the winter, we had nothing except the knowledge that for the first time in countless centuries, we were free. It was Sharten's dream that one day we would have our own homeland where we could live as we chose. After the long struggle that claimed the lives of many, even Sharten himself, we were granted the Dells, and though the Dells were to the south of the land of Arlays, and a long way from the Tevinter, it mattered little. We were going home, and so we walked. We called our journey the Long Walk, for that was what it was. We walked with what little we had on our backs. We walked without shoes, for they all had none. Whole families, women, or some walked without shoes, for they had none. Whole families, women with infants, and old and young alike, all of them made their way across the land on foot. And if one of the people could no longer walk, we carried him, and sometimes left him behind. Many perished along the way. Some died of exhaustion. Others simply gave up and fell by the wayside. A great numbers were set upon by human bandits, even though we had few possessions. Along the way, a growing number began to bemoan the decision to leave Tevinter. At least in Tevinter, they said. We had food and water and shelter. What do we have here? Nothing but the open sky and the prospect of never-ending road ahead. Some turned back towards Tevinter, but most of us continued walking. And the gods rewarded those of us who did not waver by bringing us to the Dells. Our people called the new city Halashiro, the end of the journey, and for a time it was home. And stored by Jerusel, keeper of the Releferen clan. Dirthamin, keeper of secrets. The twins Falandin and Dirthamin are the eldest children of the Agaranin and Allfather and Mythil the Protector. The brothers were inseparable from the moment of their conception, known for their great love for each other. That is why we often speak of Falandin in one breath and Dirthamin the next, for they cannot bear to be apart, not even in our tales. When the world was young, the gods often walked the earth, and Falandin and Dirthamin were no exceptions. Both were delighted by the many wonders of our earth. They played with the animals, whispered to the trees, and bathed in the lakes and streams. Their days were filled with bliss, and they did not know sorrow. And then one day, while passing through the forest, Falandin and Dirthamin came across an old and sickly deer resting beneath the tree. "Why do you sit so still, little sister?" asked Falandin. "Play with us," said Dirthamin. "Alas," spoke the deer, "I cannot. I am old, and although I wish to go to my rest, my legs can no longer carry me." Taking pity on the deer, Falandin gathered her up into his arms and carried her to a rest beyond the veil. Dirthamin tried to follow him, but the shifting gray paths beyond the veil would not let him. Separated for the first time from Falandin, Dirthamin wandered aimlessly till he came across two ravens. "You are lost, and soon you will fade," the raven named Fear said to Dirthamin. "Your brother has abandoned you. He no longer loves you," said the other named Deceit. "I am not lost, and Falandin has not abandoned me," said Dirthamin. He subdued the ravens and bade them carry him to Falandin. This they did, for they had been defeated and were now bound to Dirthamin's service. When Dirthamin found Falandin, he also found the deer, who once again was light on her feet, for her spirit was released from her weakened body. Both Falandin and Dirthamin rejoiced to see this. Falandin vowed that he would remain to carry all the dead to their place beyond, just as he did the deer, And Dathaman stayed with him, for the twins cannot bear to be apart. For the story of Fathodin and Dirthaman, as told by Jisaro, keeper of the Ralafaran clan of the Dalish Elves. I like that story. That was a nice story. I feel like I'm missing. Oh yeah, let's talk to Lanaya.
I am told you were instrumental in bringing our Kamen and Gaina together.
That's not a bad thing, is it?
Not strictly speaking, though by our traditions, Kamen is still Delin, a child. It is not an appropriate match at this time.
So, wait. It will be soon enough, won't it?
We try to teach our young to wean themselves off the impatience that humans suffer from. Their belief that everything must happen now is what destroyed us long ago. But there's no real harm in what you did. I do not doubt your intentions were good.
What does a keeper do exactly?
A keeper is, first and foremost, the leader of the clan. He decides where we go and when we shall move. He's also responsible for knowing the clan's ancient lore and passing it on to the others in the clan. Without a keeper, the clan's knowledge is lost forever, so the clan protects him like no other.
Can you tell me about Zathrian?
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
Lost much? What has he lost?
I really shouldn't talk about that. That's something you should ask him about yourself.
Tell me more about yourself then.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
I'm sorry, it must have been horrible.
It was. The long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
You said they rescued you from bandits.
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
Then you have family you could have returned to?
It's possible I might have had some, maybe many. Zathrian offered to take me back, but I had no idea where I was from, and I wanted to stay with the man who rescued me.
Fair.
The clan is my family. Any others out there? It's best they believe that little girl died with her parents. For now, the clan is all I need. My old world could not have offered me all this, and the knowledge of a keeper as well. Perhaps one day, when I am keeper, I might inquire out of curiosity. I'm not sure what lies down that road except pain, however.
How did you become a keeper?
I am not a keeper. I am Zathrian's first. Though because I was not born into the clan, becoming his first was very difficult. We Dalish have old traditions. The clans come from the ranks of the nobility that once ruled the Dales, you see. The keepers of those old clans have the strongest and purest blood that reaches back to the days of Arlathan. I had to compete against the other candidates for first, to be better than them in everything, simply because I was not of the old blood.
You must be proud of your accomplishment.
I am. The ceremony where Zathrian anointed me as his first was the proudest day of my life. The clan has placed great trust in me. One day, I will lead them and be the one who secures our future.
Why are they so hostile?
They have reason. Since the days of Arlathan, my people have been either subjugated or homeless.
What is this Arthlathan you mentioned?
It was our ancestral home, long ago when the humans first came to these lands. We were free then, and immortal. We did not know how to deal with the humans, and in the end, they turned their power against us and destroyed Arlathan.
Arlathan.
Our ancestors were enslaved, and our culture lost forever.
Does it still exist?
Not to my knowledge. According to the old tales, the human mages sank Arlathan into the ground, crushing it beneath the rock.
But the elves were eventually freed, right?
Yes. After a millennium of slavery, our people were freed by Andraste, the human's prophet who spawned the Chantry.
But you didn't worship the Maker. But you don't
We
worship the
worship
Maker.
the creators, as we always have. We give thanks to Andraste for her part in our freedom, but we do not worship her or her god.
Fair. So elves were immortal then.
They died, but not of an aged body as other races do. Not until the humans came. According to the legends, association with humans caused us to quicken. Our blood sped, and we began to age. So we avoided them naturally. And then we were enslaved by them for 1,000 years. And in so doing, we all were quickened permanently and our immortality destroyed. Or so the old tales say.
But you could get your lifespan back, no?
In time and with seclusion. We Dalish have lengthy lifespans, and they will get longer. Zathrian himself has lived many centuries, though that is unusual even for us.
Let's go. Didn't Arlathan fight back?
The Tevinter Imperium was a force to be reckoned with. It was ruled by mages with powerful blood magic. Though Arlathan fought, they lost.
I can see why you resent humans then.
Shemlin, we call them. Quick children.
Shemlin.
I suppose it takes a certain arrogance to look upon another people as children, no? Perhaps we should be more heedful of our own role in Arlathan's loss. Even so, it was a bitter lesson to learn. One we are not grateful for.
But I'm not responsible for what's been done to the elves. I'm not even
That's
a
true.
human.
And you're not even a human, so it's doubly unfair.
Thank you.
But fairness does not play into such things. No outsider has ever been good for us.
I wouldn't act like them. I would change things.
Oh? That is easy to say when you are not a homeless wanderer of a broken people.
Really?
It's all we can do to cling onto our past now. Perhaps this may change one day, but I believe the humans would have to take the first steps, if they are capable.
Wasn't your homeland called the Dells?
That was our second homeland. Our first was the great city of Arlathan.
Arlathan.
The Dales came when they were freed from enslavement. Elves everywhere journeyed hundreds and thousands of miles to the Dales, eager to start their lives anew.
The Grey
They called it the Long Walk.
The Long Walk.
They reached the Dales and made it their own. And one day it was taken from us too, and you wonder why we are hostile.
Fair.
Certainly.
Tell me about
I'm
yourself.
hardly anyone special,
Oh,
I assure
I
you.
think that's
If
everything.
I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
I should go.
As you wish. Darth Shiro.
Darth Shiro. Part 1. Before the ages were named or numbered, our people were glorious and eternal and never changing. Like the great oak tree, they were constant in their tradition, strong in their roots, and ever reaching for the sky. They felt no need to rush when life was endless. They worshipped their gods for months at a time. Decisions came after decades of debate, and an introduction would last for years. From time to time, our ancestors would drift into a centuries-long slumber, but this was not death, for we know they wandered the fade in dreams. In those ages, our people called all the land Evanon, wherein the old language means place of our people, and at the center of the world stood the great city of I just went through this. Arletan. Arletan. A place of knowledge and debate where the best of the ancient elves would go to trade knowledge, greet old friends, and settle disputes that had gone on for millennia. But while our ancestors were caught up in the forever cycle of ages, drifting through life at what we today would consider an intolerable pace, the world outside the lush forests and ancient trees was changing. The humans first arrived from Parvalin to the north, called Shemlin or Quickening. By the ancients, the humans were pitiful creatures whose lives blinked by in an instant. When they first met the elves, the humans were brusque and warlike, quick to anger and quicker to fight, with no patience for the unhurried pace of elven diplomacy. But the humans brought worse things than war with them. Our ancestors proved susceptible to human diseases, and for the first time in history, elves died of natural causes. What's more, those elves who spent time bartering and negotiating with humans found themselves aging, tainted by the human brash and impatient lies. Many believed that the ancient gods had judged them unworthy of their long lives and cast them down among the quicklings. Our ancestors came to look upon the humans as parasites, which I understand is similar to the ways the humans see our people in the cities. The ancient elves immediately moved to close Avenine off from the humans, for fear that this quickening effect would crumble the civilization. The fall of Arletan, as told by Jacero, keeper of Reliferin, clan of the Delish Elves. That's freaking cool, though. What a history. Doesn't make the humans look good, but God, where was that? Ooh, God of the Craft.
As you wish.
June, the elven god of craftsmanship. June, god of the craft. We dedicated all of our crafts to June, for it is he who taught the people to bend the branches of trees to make our bows, and to fashion coverings of fur and ironbark. Without June, will we have the Arabelle or the harnesses for our holla? When the people were young, we wandered the forest without purpose. We drank from streams and ate the berries and nuts that we could find. We did not hunt, for we had no bows. We were nothing, for we had no knowledge of spinning or needlecraft. We shivered in the cold nights and went hungry through the winters, when all the world was covered in ice and snow. Then Soleil, the hearth keeper, came and gave us fire and taught us how to feed it with wood. June taught us to fashion bows and arrows and knives so that we could hunt. We learned to cook the flesh of the creatures we hunted over Soleil's fire, and we learned to clothe ourselves in their furs and skins, and the people were no longer cold and hungry, as told by Jezero, keeper of the Reliferin clan of the Delish Elves. I think that is Sorrel. How we talk to a Sorrel?
Jaina and Cameron together, I see. Strange that you should take the time to involve yourself in that affair, of all things.
Okay, what do you know about the werewolves?
We know only what Zathrian has told us over the years. I never saw one myself until the attack.
How did they ambush you if they were so mindless?
Some of us have wondered. The Keeper says they are simply cunning, that any beast can lie in wait. But this seemed more than that. It was planned. These are no simple beasts. Then the real question is why the Keeper would insist that it is not so.
Oh. Why would he lie?
I do not believe he would. But even the wisest of men do not always see the truth in front of them. Nor do they always wish to.
Do they have any strange abilities?
As you know, they can shapeshift into wolves, allowing them to hide amidst the true wolves.
How does one fight them?
The hunters say they have strength and speed far beyond what's ordinary, and are as tough as such beasts come. Like wolves, they hunt in packs so as to combine their strength. But in the end, a blade kills them as surely as it does any other. What you need to fear is their bite. If you're infected, you are done. Though not right away, and not all at once.
Is there a way to prevent being afflicted?
Other than not to get bitten? Not that I know of.
That's enough.
Of course. You wish something else?
Nope.
Dareth Shirol.
The red Shiro. And the fact that he has a name and that's all he told us is interesting. Alright, yeah. So it's bringing us to you. Eldest of the Sun. God of Vengeance. Long ago, when time itself was young, the only thing in existence were the sun and the land. The sun, curious about the land, bowed his head close to her body, and Ergonan was born in the place where they touched. The sun and the land loved Ergonan greatly, for he was beautiful and clever. As the gift to Argonan, the land brought forth great birds and beasts of sky and forest, and all manner of wonderful green things. Elgernine loved his mother's gift and praised them highly and walked amongst them often. The sun, looking down upon the fruitful land, saw the joy that Elgernine took in her works and grew jealous. Out of spite, he shone his face full upon all creatures the earth had created, and burned them all to ashes. The land cracked and spit from bitterness and pain, and cried salt tears for the loss of all she had wrought. The pools and tears cried for the land, became the ocean, and the cracks in her body the first rivers and streams. Ergonon was furious at what his father had done and vowed vengeance. He lifted himself into the sky and wrestled the sun, determined to defeat him. They fought for an eternity, and eventually the sun grew weak. While Ergonon's race was unabated, eventually Ergonon threw the sun down from the sky and buried him in a deep abyss created by the land's sorrow. With the sun gone, the world was covered in shadow, and all that remained in the sky was the remainder of Argonon's battle with his father, drops of the sun's lifeblood which twinkled and shimmered in the darkness. From the tale of Argonon and the sun, as told by Jezero, keeper of Rapharin, clan of the... there's one more. Where is it? I want it. Seriously? This is a lot going on here.
You have returned. Is there...
Oh, let me talk to you.
Any chance you have news of Delilah?
Not yet, not yet. No. Not yet, I'm afraid.
Very well. I suppose I shall have to wait longer at sea.
Oh, that was the elf. Where? The elf woman. Oh, is that it? Is that it? Is that it? Oh, didn't we do this?
This should be easy enough. As you wish.
Let's go. Oh. I don't want to get the survival, but I guess we have. Nope, nope, nope. What was that? Where was the other? Mithra. Interesting.
I trust there are no hard feelings about my questioning of you when you arrived. We
No.
Dalish must protect ourselves from trouble at all times.
That's fine. I understand. Do others truly trouble you so much?
These days, very little to tell the truth, for we've established a fearsome reputation amongst the Shemlin. We must still be vigilant, however. Not that I would expect an outsider to understand, but there you have it. We do what we must.
You know, they keep
Had we known
saying
the Grey
that.
Warden was coming, we might have arranged a different reception. But I wish you good fortune with your task. Dareth Shiral.
Dareth Shiral. Alright. I know what that is. I was here. I want to map it all out. Death root. There we go. What is happening? It's just this one that keeps lighting. Oh, it's the... I think that's everything. Yep. So I guess we have to just... Oh, we can switch out. I feel like we need her for the freaking wolves, don't we? But he hasn't been saying anything, so...
Yes.
We're getting there. Alistair.